Ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out. And if you are joining us for the first time this evening, I see that 777 in the chat. I love it. Make sure you drop your affirmations. You know how we get this thing started. You know how we get this call started. I am a master trader. I am the signal. All my trades end in profit, and I am a 777. So I love it though. I love it because look at that, all caps. I got exclamation points, and now you guys have a wonderful day. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love it because you are the signal, right? That's what we're here for. You're here to be the signal. You're here to generate wealth. You're here to create wealth, right? That's definitely what we're here for. And so now if this is your first time joining us this evening, let me get a 111 in the chat. This is your first time joining us this evening. Let me get a 111 in the chat. And if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222. Welcome. So welcome. It's your first time on BYOB Market Talks. Welcome to BYOB Market Talks. And for those of you all still learning how to cash out, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I want to welcome each and every last one of you back. I'm going to go ahead and get my screen share with you guys. Let me get my screen share going. So there are a few things we're going to talk about this evening, right? Kind of got a few things that we're going to go over. So as we're getting started though, for those of you all who are here on here, right? Those of you all who are on here, and you were on this morning at 5 and 9, I definitely want to make sure, you know, first and foremost, congratulations to you guys, because, you know, the way you guys did in the chat today, the way you took the market today, I just want to highlight something. Let me see here. So we kind of got one of them still set up. Now this is that Nas, right? So this is definitely that Nas that you guys took this morning. And you see that drop that happened. So remember, this is what we were looking at this morning. So for those of you all, I just want to come back to this because we talked about patience this morning, patience in the market. So before I walk you guys through how to cash out, this is Market Talks, right? And so part of our conversation this morning was patience, right? Part of our conversation this morning was patience and understanding and allowing the market to do what the market does, and for you all to have a little patience. And this is that exact same markup, right? This is that exact same markup from this morning, okay? That's what we had this morning. And look at the drop, you know, look at the drop. And so we did, and so when we're on the call at 9 o'clock and we're on the call in the morning, and we talk about allowing the market to do what it's supposed to do and allowing you to allow the fundamentals, right, to ride out so you can go back to your technical analysis. Look at what happened in the chat today, right? Because you allow the market to do what the market is supposed to do. So look what happened. So you had a drop, it pulled back up, but look what happened today because you allowed yourself to trust yourself, right? This is what happened today. And you guys are 777. And so that's why, even though, you know, you don't see much of this. So even though when you come to this front page and we have the ability to drop signals, you're not going to find many signals. You know, it's occasionally you will see, you know, us walk you through something, but you are the signal. And I really want you to remember that. You are the signal. So, you know, so for everybody who's a 111 and a 222, or you've been trading for a little while, and you'll see those that's been trading with us, you are the signal. So let's talk about the BYOB cash out, right? Let's have that conversation. Let's talk about what the BYOB cash out is, and let's get started with tonight's training. So, and then kind of talk about what, you know, what we've been building on and kind of where we're going from here, and, you know, just kind of what we've been doing. So now if you were on the last 2 weeks, well, first and foremost, for those of you all who are learning how to cash out, So welcome, 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 welcome. This is Market Talks. I'm excited tonight. You know, I'm just really excited because I mean, we literally the people that have been cashing out. For those of you all who have been cashing out today, and this is what it's all about for us, is just you guys becoming that signal and you guys cashing out. And when I know that you guys rolled those indices like that and you put those points in there, look at that, all morning, 777 all morning. That's because you all are working, you all are actually walking through, and you all are making it happen. So let's talk about what the BYOB cash out is, okay? Now, it's made up of 3 indicators, real simple. 3 indicators. You got your stochastic, you got your Hikinashi candle, and you got your PSAR, okay? You got your stochastic, you got your Hikinashi candle, and you got your PSAR. That's what this is. It's 3 simple indicators, okay? 3 simple indicators. That's really all this is. So now, when I got my stochastic, I got my Hikinashi candle, and I got my PSAR, right? Now, the 3 things that I'm looking for. That's all I'm looking for. So first, I'm got my stochastic. Now, what I really want you to understand is that my stochastic, it runs from 0 to 100, okay? Along the side, my stochastic runs from 0 to 100, okay? Now, when I'm looking at that, when I'm looking at my stochastic and it's running from 0 to 100, okay? So you see that it has a shaded area on here, okay? It has a shaded area. That shaded area goes from 20 to 80, okay? The shaded area goes from 20 to 80. Now, this is very important, okay? This is very, very important. What I want you to understand with this is when I'm looking at this 80 and I'm looking at this 20, the top of the shaded area, the bottom of the shaded area, okay? Now, I'm looking at this blue line. Blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum around this 80. This blue line cross over the red in the upward momentum around this 80. That's what I'm looking for, okay? Blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum, blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. This is a leading indicator. So because this is a leading indicator, it's gonna help me determine where my sell or where my buy is going, okay? Now, what else I'm looking for is I then look at my 2 lagging indicators, okay? This I know I'm looking for a sell. Now I know I'm come up here and I'm looking for a buy. So now these are not Japanese candles. I use Hikinashi candles. When I want to see the difference, right? Wrong ones. Japanese candles. These are Japanese candles, okay? These are Hikinashi candles. These are indicators. So when you look on your phone, MetaTrader 4 and everything else, they are going to be different. I want you to understand that. They're going to be different, okay? They're going to be different. So when you come and you look at that, okay? When you come and you look at that, what you're looking for is now I need that red candle with a flat top and my PSAR on the top, okay? So got my red candle, right? Flat top, PSAR on the top, okay? Now what we're doing tonight is we're building on the training that we did the other day. So last week, actually, I'm saying the other day. So the training that we did from last week, we're building on that tonight. So, but we have to understand the cash out. Every single thing we do, we use the BYOB cash out, okay? Every single thing we do, we're gonna use these indicators, but every single thing that we do, we definitely use the BYOB cash out, okay? Now, when I'm sitting here, I got my stochastic, blue line cross over the red. I have a red candle. So let me make this. Now, the only reason I put this arrow here is so you can see it. Understand that this is already played out. So that's why I have an arrow here. Because you would be looking here at real-time data, okay? You'd be looking at real-time data. So you can kind of see that this blue line crossed over the red and an upward momentum. You got a green candle with a flat bottom, but you didn't have a PSAR flip. When my PSAR flipped, you see that? But now I don't no longer have a green candle with a flat bottom, right? It's no longer flat. So also part of what I also want to understand, right? Part of what, so I mean, I no longer have that. And you also can kind of see, for those of you all who know, that's also sitting at a support and resistance line. So you would also, right, you get that. So I wouldn't be looking to push through that line right there. I wouldn't be looking to push through that. I wouldn't be looking to take a trade right there. So you understand that, as you understand it from that perspective right there. So now you see I have everything aligned and everything set up. So now I have to do something called time frame confluence. Understand right here, this is the BYOB cash out, but you have your pip reaction time, right? You have your pip reaction time. You also have your broker spreads, okay? So you have a few things, you know, in play there. So, because remember, I don't know that this played out like this. On a 15-minute chart, I also don't know where I am in the market. So those are things and factors that you have to consider. This is actually a beautiful trade, right? We know it's a beautiful trade. It went down for 60 pips. You don't know that right now. You don't know that when we're looking at it right here. Just like you're sitting here having to analyze this. We don't know how this would have played out. So you're looking at this, trying to figure out what is it going to do. You're on a 15-minute chart. Remember, the 15-minute chart does not tell me where the market is going at all. I have to understand my higher time frame for that. Am I with the trend? Am I with a correction? What am I with? What is the market doing, right? Always things you want to take in consideration, things you want to definitely understand, right? Now, so what do I do first? Time frame confluence. Drop down to the 5-minute chart. Drop down to the 5-minute chart. Is it in a sale? Well, right now, it's actually not, right? So at that point, it's actually not. It's not in a sale. Let me check my higher time frame. So, because if it's not in a sale, it's either in a correction or, you know, so the market has changed. But this is obviously a correction. We can tell right now, but it had been going down. So more than likely, it has probably been in a correction, right? Now, let me go up to the hour. Go up to the hour. What's my current swing in the market? My hour time frame is my current swing in the market. It's nothing lining up on this trade for me right now. So this keeps you out of the market. So I'm not taking trades, you know, when I should not be taking trades. I'm gonna go back down to my 15-minute chart. When did it play out? Let's try this again. A little bit later. Let's try it again, right? Let's try it again. Drop down to my 5-minute chart. Remember, we're talking about a little patience here. When I drop down to my I'm actually in a sale now on my 5-minute chart. Go back up to my hour time frame. When I go back up to my hour time frame, right, I'm still not in that sale. Now, this is not GBP. Remember, we talk about GBP. So, question in the chat. So the PSAR has to not only be flipped, it has to be flipped and under you. So you're referring to here. You're referring to here, right? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All three rules have to be met. So, right? So here you had the blue line cross over the red and the upward momentum, right? Blue line cross over the red and upward momentum. You had a you had a green candle with a flat bottom, and then, right, the PSAR flip. When that PSAR flip, I no longer have a flat bottom candle. So if I don't have a flat bottom candle, I'm not taking that trade. So let's look at, look at it. Look at it right here. So my rules are not met right there. So my rules are not met right there. If you have a question, drop it in the chat.
We're done here.
If you have a question, drop it in the chat. So my rules are not met right there. Right? They're not. So now see, because look what happens. You see that wick right here at the bottom means that it's some pullback happening right there. This wick means there's some pullback happening right there. You got it? And so that's why even on this time frame confluence, and I'm showing you this time frame confluence because, right, you'll begin to understand how the market talks to you, right, guys? You'll begin to understand how that. So I'm actually showing you that because you had no idea how this was going to play out. You had absolutely no idea. But I'm trying to show you this time frame confluence because you can start the trade up here because you can kind of see how this is beginning to play out, right? You can starting to see how this can play out. And this is actually doji. And I can promise you, just looking at this might have wicked back and forth for a minute. It might have been green and red and red and green and green and red. So at one point, it probably was red. That I can promise you. But I want to show you this because I want you trading from the rules. I really, really, really want you trading from the rules. Okay? I want you trading from the rules. And then when you understand it, just like if I was to pull up a GBP pair, right? If I was to pull up, this is still marked up from earlier. So like if I was to pull up a GBP, I know which one was up, this one. If I was to pull up a GBP pair, right, which is one we had marked up from earlier, okay, if I was to pull up this, then, you know, with me pulling up a GBP pair, if I was to pull up a GBP pair, what you're looking at, like GBP has more liquidity in the market, right? It has more liquidity in the market. So when you understand the amount of liquidity that GBP has in the market, you understand, right? You understand that, then you understand how the GBP, like you understand why that exception to the rule is on the 30-minute. So when I'm really sitting there and I'm looking at this and I'm trying to take that trade, once you develop that relationship with the market and you start hearing from the market, that's how I know I could take that GBP. And then also, these were what we are about to talk about is those pivots and those points, right? Look at where those points are. This is still marked up from before. This is, well, these were our take profits. These are those support and resistance lines. So look at how this bounces around. This is, I want to help you understand too. When you start taking longer trades, this actually played out. But look at how GBP, remember how I tell you GBP is that child you don't leave home with by itself? Look at how GBP, right? This is our markup from earlier. How it broke the trend line. You know, I use trend candles, but I drew a trend line for you guys. And it broke the trend line, right? It broke it and then it pulled down. So we're just analyzing a few trades that we had already analyzed and took. But you see how far GBP pulled back up and took? This is why you, and I'm only showing you this. Look at this. That's 122 pips. 122 pip pullback before it pulled back down to come back. So this is why you guys spaz out when you like pulling that GBP pair. But this is, you know, I'm so glad. God, wow, this is coming together. Seriously, I love it. This is what I left this intentionally to play out on here because I want you to understand when you're looking at another currency pair, look at how smooth this is on the hour. Look at how smooth this went down. So you're talking about taking longer trades, right? On the 15-minute chart, I get my 10 pips and cash out, right? I get my 10 pips and cash out, but then when I start taking trades on the higher time frames, and then you start looking at the pullback and you start looking at your account, right? Look at how smooth this is. Look at how smooth up this went. Look at how smooth down this went. Look at how smooth up, right? So I can even look at another currency pair. Even when this one, when it had its pullback because of the fundamentals, look at how smooth down this is coming, right? Now I come back over here to this nice, beautiful GBP, right? Because we love GBP so much, right? And because the GBP pays, you know, we love it. So now look at this. That's 122 pip pullback. Drop your question in the chat and I definitely will answer it. Put your question in the chat. I see your hand. So, but look at this pullback right there. So when you got this pullback right there, understand that it's still going to do it, but you want those support and resistance lines. So when you're taking those longer trades, this is why you can counter trend trade GBP so well. This is why you can counter trend trade. So the point I'm making right now is when you're doing your 10 pips and cash out, you want to understand, you want to know if you want to trade with the trend, if you want to counter trend trade, you want to understand the currency that you're trading. So with GBP, this is why we can counter trend trade so well. This is why I can check my trend of the market. I mean, I can do my time frame confluence on my 30-minute. This is why I can do those things. So any questions, comments, or testimonies on the BYOB cash out? Because I really want to show you how to apply it to what we were learning in some of these tools. Questions, comments. I know we had a hand, so drop your question so I can get it answered. Any questions on the BYOB cash out? You know, that hour is the swing of the market. The 4 hour is the trend of the market. Okay. Tonight is training. The evenings are training. This is market talks. So if we see a trade, we'll take the trade. We don't leave money on the table, but we definitely are here for training. This is how you become the signal. So when you go look at that, when you go look at it, then you'll definitely be able to take it. So what I want to do though is IML. I want to definitely pull this up. Well, I did pull a cryptocurrency up earlier. If we have time, oh, you can take it everything. It's no max amount of pips. You can take everything. Haha, and they actually got the BTC on here. Wow. So it is no limit to the amount of pips you can take. You actually wanna this is like price action with a twist, right? So you actually wanna apply it. So let's talk about, let's see this one, right? I just kind of want to show you. So you caught GBP USD at 230 on the swing up until let me see. So just for example, let me see if I want to look at one that's played out. I might want to see one that's played out to kind of show you guys something. So I might want to see one that's played out. Let's see one that might be played out. That's been a while, so let me see. Because I want to show you like what for those of you all who are new to the call, what we've been training on, and you guys will see it in just a moment, right? What we've been training on, I will just use this one. I should be able to get you guys to understand it. What we've been training on is let me make sure I got the right one. I want to GBP JPY. Okay, so this is GBP JPY. So what we've been training on is utilizing these tools. So this is the harmonic scanner. Okay, this is definitely the harmonic scanner, and using the tools, but I also have been showing you how to come back here, and I'm gonna pull up GBP JPY, and then using the information that's in the Vibrata. So I'm on the hour time frame, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually use the numbers that they just gave me. Understand, first and foremost, that this is the harmonic scanner, okay? These are nothing more than support and resistance lines. I cannot stress that enough. These are nothing more than support and resistance lines. I want you to understand that. Do not take these trades blindly, okay? What it does is it's identifying those harmonic patterns in the market. You still have to apply the strategy, okay? You still have to apply it. So you still have to apply it. So does the candle and the PSR have to be on the line for time frame confluence? No. So for time, no, what we looked at was the candle. You want the hour. Let me go back for you to understand this as we go through this. So like, for example, if I'm looking at this right here, okay, really quickly, if I'm looking at this, if I have my hour, right, my stochastic, I got my blue line cross over the red and downward momentum, right? I have my red candle with a flat top and my PSR. So this is where, right, this is where I will have it. This is where my alignment is. If when I drop down to the 5, okay, drop down to the 5-minute chart. Drop down to the 5-minute chart. When I drop down to the 5-minute chart, I need to still be selling. When I go up to the hour has to, this one is a perfect one. The hour needs to look like something I would put on a watch list, okay? The hour needs to look like something I would put on a watch list. So this one, I actually have a red candle. This is the swing of the market, okay? This is the swing of the market. Remember, you're not seeing all of this. That's all you're seeing. So you're not going to always get this stochastic sitting up here. This needs to look like something that you're putting on a watch list, right? This definitely needs to look like something that you're putting on a watch list. So it's not going to always look like, it's not going to look like something that, you know, this one just happens to be perfect. So how is it going to look? It's going to be different at times. Sometimes your stochastic might be down here. Sometimes it might be setting up. But what you don't want is it to look like it's going completely against it. Now, if you're doing your 10 pips and cash out, to kind of answer that next question as well, if you're doing your 10 pips and cash out, this is all I need is my swing in the market. Because right here, look at where I'm at, 10 pips and cash out for, and that's if you don't understand support and resistance lines. If you do not understand support and resistance lines, if you do not understand support and resistance lines, you do not need to try to go for more than 10 pips. Because there is no way that you are understanding where to stop. Right, like, because the other question that was asked is how many pips can you capture? How many pips can I get? How many pips can I grab with the BYOB cash out? Well, guess what? You can grab as many as the market gives you, you know, because even if I took this trade, right, the swing of the market and the trend of the market is on a 4-hour. So this trade actually gave me to this support line, this trade actually gave me 129 pips. You don't know, right? This is why you guys know CHF is not my favorite. How many pips you get is based on the liquidity in the market, right? The same way this candle looks, GBP is, like I just showed you, a pullback was 129 pips. But CHF, you know, is going to have low liquidity, where GBP, I know I can get my pips and cash out, you know? So that's what that's all going to be dependent on. So this is what I want to do. So we got that harmonic. I want to show you guys before, it's like I want to show you two things. So I really want to show you two things. So right here, you got your typical watch list. You know that this right here in the details. So if you need to remember how I got here, you come here where the strategy is, or to this little wheel, right? Your settings. You go in there and click the settings, and you want to make sure your watch list is turned on. Click the settings, make sure your watch list is turned on. Come to the details. You see the details is actually talking about the currency that I'm trading. GBP, JPY, British pound, Japanese yen, right? And it tells you it's a Forex miner, right? It's going to tell you what it is, right? It's going to give you where it's at today, the range, and it's going to give you technical analysis on it. It's also going to give you the headline news. Remember, this is the same type of tool that the banks of the world use, right? So you actually have access to the same type of tools that the banks of the world use. So I'm going to click more. I'm working on an hour chart. So I'm going to come down here to the hour, right? I want to work on an hour chart. So it's actually going to give me my oscillators, my moving averages, right? So it's going to actually give you all the information that you're looking for and that you're dealing with currently, where they are in the market. You know, we use the stochastic, telling you where my stochastic is right now, right? So you want to come down here, it's going to tell you, right? So you can kind of come through here and do some analysis, but what I'm looking for is these pivots, okay? This is what I'm looking for, is I'm looking for these pivots, okay? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna write these pivots. No, I got these pivots numbers, okay? So I just actually took a screenshot of these pivots. You cannot find a watch list. So, okay, let me show you. Let me show you. I'm gonna click it, new share, right here. Okay, you see it? This is what my settings look like. Pick a strategy. Of course, we always want BYOB cash out. Absolutely, all the time, right? So scroll down, this are cha-ching, okay? This, you know, hide chart details, watch list, and news. You want to turn it on. It's right here. Okay? It's right there. You are welcome. You want to turn that on. All right. Got my share back. Okay. So now we're looking at that. So let me, I see right here where I have the watch list next to the widgets. You can just minimize it. So you don't have to go back and cut it off. You can just minimize it so you can kind of keep up with what's going on. Actually, look, you can kind of change, you know, what you're looking at, right? You can kind of change what you're looking at from what perspective you want to see it, right? So you can kind of go through here, kind of see what's happening with the headlines that's happening for each individual currency pair. So let's minimize it and let's make sure we're on the hour, and we're gonna drop these lines. Okay, now remember that pivot point is the middle point in the market. So I'm gonna put my pivot point first, okay? 132.205. Now I'm gonna show you how this is gonna help you. All right, so look where the market is. This pivot point is that middle point in the market. Okay, that pivot point is that middle point in the market, okay? That's what that pivot point is. Okay, that's that middle point, and they recalculate daily. Okay, they recalculate daily. So I just pulled this information from out here. So now I'm gonna do these resistance. I wanna change the color on them. So at the top, I'm just gonna change the color to green because you know green mean buy. Since it's at the top, has absolutely nothing to do. I'm just using it with me calling a trade. Understand that, please. Thank you. You would have loved to have it. All right. One, 3, 4, 8, 1, 6. Now right here. All right, so 1, 3, 7. All right. Those are those major pivot lines, right? Those major support and resistance lines. Now I'm gonna drop the other ones on here. I'm gonna change these to red because they're at the bottom of the pivot line. Okay. 33 point. Oops, not 131. Okay, drop another one. And I'm gonna just drop this. I'm not gonna go all the way to R3. I'm gonna just drop this one. So, or maybe S3. 129.594. All right, so you can kind of see what it says. So look where the market actually is right now. So the market is actually in the middle. So now if I'm looking at where this is saying it's looking to turn, right? So you can kind of see, I don't want to overanalyze this chart, but if I drop this 131.0440, right? So look at how similar that is based from where the harmonic scanner is calling, right? Look at that. Look at that. So look at, so look at how similar, look at how similar this is to what I'm actually doing. Look at where this is that entry point that the harmonic scanner identified, right? Look at how similar this is, right? So look at that. So it is a major, this is that first pivot in the market. I pull that first pivot from right here, but you can kind of see that that's a major support line in the market, and you can kind of see where it's pulling. So this pivot point, it helps you identify what the center, like that center force or that center of gravity, or like the center point of where that where the market currently is, right? That's what this is doing. And so how can I, you know, understand? So of course, the market is typically gonna go here and it's gonna typically pull within that range. So when you're looking at this, you know, if I'm looking at this, you can kind of see, so I've identified those pivot points. And of course, you are always going to use that. But something like, to even go back to the question that was answered, how will I know how many pips I can get? Well, this also helps you identify that main point of take profit. So even if I'm looking at what's my take profit 3 that they identified, that 133.013, right? So it identified it to somewhere in the middle here. Okay, this is, which is the market structure. But sometimes you notice that you'll see, like, if I look at some of these patterns, right, you'll see that, I probably need to go down a little bit further to one that's finished. That's already played out. Like that one sitting on the line. Of course, I'm not gonna get the one I want. No. No. I'm like, give me one that I want. You can kind of see it'll hit that take profit, but so you'll see, you guys have seen it where they'll play out and they'll go beyond what we're looking for, right? You've seen that. But so this is where that take profit 3 identified, but you can also see that you kind of got like a lot. You see, if I look left, where obviously you got a strong point of resistance right here, but you can see this is that major take profit. But look right here, you can see on that pivot point right here where the market, it was an actual turnaround point for the market as a whole. And then what was this pivot? It was an actual turnaround point for the market right there. So look at these pivot lines. It was an actual turnaround point for the market right there. So these are going to help you identify those turnaround points. Now, don't just go blindly trade them. You still want to apply the strategy. Everything you need to apply the strategy to. Every single thing you need to apply the strategy to, right? Everything you need. You got to apply the strategy to. What am I going back to the harmonic scanner and explaining how one played out? Well, it just, you didn't blindly take it. They just, I mean, you come to the scanner, what the harmonic scanner does is it identifies harmonic patterns. There are, you know, in the academy, it kind of explains these different types of harmonic patterns. So when you're looking right here on the harmonic scanner, you see right next to the currency pair, it tells you the type of harmonic pattern that's being identified, whether it's a bat, a butterfly, a deep crab, a shark, right? They have different types of harmonic patterns, right? Look at all the different types of harmonic patterns. So what happens is these are just different types of harmonic patterns that are identified based on these angles, based on, you know, what you see right here. So we're not taking that trade blindly still, regardless of the different ones. So these are in the academy, they explain to you all the different types of harmonic patterns that are there. So when you go back and you look at the different types of harmonic patterns that there are, you still need to come back and apply the strategy to it, because just because the market identifies a harmonic pattern and just because that's a typical turnaround point does not mean the market is going to turn around. The way this works, the ones that play out get to hang on and get to stay here. The ones that don't, they fall off. And why do they fall off? Well, guess what? They fall off because you know how many would be on here every single time a harmonic pattern is identified? And I look at the hour because those are typically the ones that are gonna stick. If I look at the 15-minute, that's just like me drawing a support and resistance line on the lower time frame. So let me pick another tab for you guys. So if I was to look at, I draw my support and resistance lines on the higher time frame. So just for example, let me change to the line chart, right? And you come here, I draw some support and resistance lines, right? I draw some support and resistance lines, right? You draw some support and resistance lines, okay? Just kind of identifying a few. Change it back to my Hikanashi candles. You kind of see how it plays out. Of course, they got some more. You know, you don't ever want to overanalyze. I should have made those yellow. But now go down to the 15. When I go down to the 15, you're going to see more. You're going to see more opportunities for support and resistance lines. But guess what? Those did it really hold the market? Did it really hold the market? You still have harmonic patterns in there, right? You still got harmonic patterns in there, but did it really hold the market? The market still keeps going. Sometimes it turns around, but sometimes it doesn't. You know, so more likely than not, these smaller ones are not strong enough to hold the market. So the market's going to keep going. And that's why I always look at the higher time frames, you know, and just kind of a quick explanation. That's not detailed, but that's quick. So when you're looking at that, and you can kind of see when you're looking at, look at how many, like even right here, see, that's an opportunity for a support and resistance line, but it pulled up. Did that hold the market? No, it didn't. So I mean, there's so many opportunities in here for me to have other support. Did this hold the market? No, it didn't. So it's so many opportunities. That's why I don't draw them on those lower time frames. So when I'm looking at my harmonic patterns, how many times have you really seen the ones on the lower time frames play out, considering, because they'll typically be in those reversal patterns. So yeah, you can look at them and sometimes they are, but I mean, that's why I don't always pull them, because yes, sometimes they'll work, but do they always play out? And so I just look at the ones on a higher time frame. You got it. So that's why we're always looking at the ones on a higher time frame. But yeah, you'll get some good ones on the 15, but just so you know, that's why. So it's nothing special. That's why we don't trade it over here. It's just, you look at it, okay, you see a harmonic pattern is identified. I bring it back over here and I'm looking and I begin just, oh, blue line cross over red and the upward momentum. Let me check my 4 hour for confluence. Do I have confluence? Absolutely not. I don't have confluence yet. The trade's not valid. It's not a valid trade yet. When I see my hour, blue line cross over red and the upward momentum, I got a green candle with a flat bottom, right? I gotta wait on that piece or to flip. On my 4 hour, I need confluence. I drop down to my 15. My 15 need to be buying. Once I have all of that, I can ride that up. And that would actually be a potential trade of, oh, look at that. Put in a trailing stop loss, and you are good to go. Questions, comments. I know it's, and that's why we're building on this. This is not a one-night call, because that's why we're building on this. So we had 2 calls last week, and tonight, plus we will have, so basically it's pretty much, I let my PSAR tell me. Remember, the market will tell you what your stop loss is. So I let my PSAR tell me, and sometimes I widen it. It just all depends. It really depends. I let the market tell me what it should be. And the question is, do I trail 30 pips? Questions, comments, questions, comments, questions, comments. Because I know we're building on last Tuesday and Thursday. And I really want you guys to see how you can pull those pivots out of there and how that helps you determine where that turnaround point is. But then also at the same time, how I can pull this. Because before we go grab another tool, because we're going to grab another tool, right? How many tools are there with this company? Right? How many tools do we have? Quite a bit. So, and we want to make sure we're maximizing and understanding how to utilize all the tools, right? That's going to keep us in profit. So we're going to learn how to use them. So No, you want to bring it back over here. You don't want to try to change it there. Everything is here. All I have to do is come over here, type in the currency, and everything is plugged in here where it needs to be. And I don't have to keep trying to change anything over there, right? Okay, so those are a little different. They're the same, but they're different. So just to kind of answer your question, so the when you look at, so how, okay, so the pivots, you come down here to answer your question. Now you come here and notice that with these pivots, you have 3 major pivots, right? You got 3. So you're gonna have 3 pivots. And so with this, you got 3 pivots. So you got the R1, R2, R3, right? You got R1, R2, R3. You got the S1, S2, S3, right? Those are your major pivot points, your major ones, okay? Those are your major ones. And so, right, those are your major ones. And so understand that pivots are support and resistance lines. It's not a strategy, okay? It's not a strategy, just so you understand. Pivots is not a strategy. So these are actually, pivots are actually those points in the market, right? That's what this is. Those are, it is, I just, you heard me say I took a screenshot on my phone and I just dropped the lines on there. So let me show you what I did. Let me show you what I did. I came on here, I grabbed this line, the horizontal line. I came here, I dropped the line, and when I dropped the line, you see how the line comes up? For more accuracy, I just took my settings, and right here where you got style, which is normally will come up first, and then coordinates, and you could type it in. Okay? And then just to answer that question, right? No, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna show you. Just to answer your question, because it's not, I'm gonna answer your question. Okay, so with this scanner, okay, this scanner actually, if I look at this scanner, this was built by the design of the company. So it is it's a scanner, but it's not a strategy. So when you're looking at this, I want to show you, let me go to the S2. So when you're looking at this, notice that when we come over here and we use this scanner, because we've used it, we pulled it up, and when I'm pulling it up, I'm looking for that major push right here, or that major push down here. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Now you notice right here where you have this pivot point right here. Okay, so you got, this is the actual pivot point. This is that actual pivot point. Now you see where it says strong pivot reverse and strong pivot. This is that S1. I mean, this is that R1, and this is R1, and then this is that S1. That's what this is, okay? This is R2, this is S2. These are added, these are extras. These are extras that are added. So that's like if I drop down to that 15-minute chart and add those other ones, or these are those other support and resistance lines that are in the market. But these are those ones that are calculated right there. So these are those extras. So then when I come to this other strategy, okay, which these are not pivots is an indicator. It's not like, or these are support and resistance lines, those major supports. So these that are added on this one are actually, this is that S3, that major, right? That major resistance, and this is that major resistance, this is that major support. That's what this is. So they're added on this one, but not on the other one. So that's what this -1 through 3 and this -1 plus 1 through 3 is. those are those, this is that major support and this major support and this major resistance. So you notice that if it pulls up here, how the market will turn. If it pulls down here, how the market will turn. That's why. So if I look right here, that's what that is. That's that, like where we dropped that major, right? That's that major one that we dropped up here. So that's what that is. These are actual, these are financial pivots right here. So yes, these are the financial pivots. They just have extras added. Does that make sense? 555. Does that answer your question? All right. So all right, so yeah, it is game changer. So, and it's actually going to help you. It's actually going to help you with identifying those points in the market, right? So yeah, that's the one up there. There it is. So this is actually going to help you. Yes, the P. And they recalculate daily. They recalculate daily based on what the market, right? They recalculate daily. So yeah, they recalculate, pivots recalculate daily. And so, of course, right now, this is today, you know. So of course, right now, these are the pivots for today. And you can kind of see where the market is hanging out, you know. This is where the market is hanging out. The market is hanging out in this zone. This is this zone where the market is hanging out. Anytime, you can look for it anytime. Just know that they recalculate daily. They only recalculate once a day. Yeah, they only calculate once a day. It's calculations. Now, we're not gonna get into no math. We're not doing no math tonight. We got 5 minutes left. We're not doing math. So, but it's automatic, just like these Hikanashi candles are automatic, right? So, and even when I come here and look at the indices, right? So when I come here, when I come here and I look at indices, you know, you're not gonna get that, but you have to understand where your support and resistance lines. So you'll get major updates, right? You'll definitely get that. So look at this. What does this tell you? NASDAQ sets up a massive head and shoulders. So look at here. So it's telling you that the NASDAQ sets up a massive heads and shoulder. So it's giving you information that's going to help you trade. So you thought you were getting it and then you went into the scanner and pivots. Well, you got it though. You got it. And that's why, you know, go to that playlist and start with trading a BYOB cash out. You know, start there. And what that playlist is going to do for you is going to help you understand that. It's going to help you understand, yes, on YouTube, it's BYOB challenge. So it'll help you understand that. And then it'll definitely help you understand the liquidity in the market, right? And then it will help you from there. It will help you understand, you know, it will help you understand the liquidity in the market. And then of course there's, you know, helping you understand how to, you know, how to, you know, from that, it'll help you understand how to do buy stop, sell stop, buy list, you know, things of that nature. So
Real quickly.
So go ahead, Mr. Rogers. So
Yes, let's address this so everybody will understand with this news and how important this is, where it says that Nasdaq sets up for a massive head and shoulders. So, and it says for the next 5 days of a strong reversal trend, and obviously, can you kind of just give them a quick nugget on how important that is and what they could be anticipating with this head and shoulders based on what's about to transpire?
I think you just said it. But yeah, so understand a head and shoulders is not probably. A head and shoulders is the most predictable, is the most reliant reversal pattern that there is, you know. So if you have, look at how strong this is. So when you're talking about this tool, so it's telling you that, so you want to make sure this is on, guys. You want to make sure this is on. Remember that your banks have your money and this is what they're using. So this is telling you right here that NASDAQ is heading for a major head and shoulders over the next 5 trading days, right? So this is what we're looking at. And so you got a major head and shoulder pattern coming, which means that's a reversal pattern. That's a reversal pattern. You got it now, it's on now, awesome. So this is definitely a reversal pattern. And so you wanna make sure, this is where your technical analysis comes in. This is where your technical analysis comes in. And so you wanna make sure you understand. So when we say in the mornings when we're trading, right? This is why you're the signal. This is why we don't hedge trades. This is why we don't guess. This is why we don't do any of that. This is why you get in your car. Guess what? Your GPS, you know where you're going. And you sit there until you wait till your GPS recalculate. This is why when we said we taking a trade, we know where we're going. We know exactly where we're going before we get in that. And so one of the things that you definitely want to understand as we get ready to close this out, like how did you know that the market was going to pause right there? Well, look at these support and resistance lines, right? Look at these, right? You guys, these lines are not, you know, coloring books, right? These are not coloring books. These are not, that's not what this is. So that's not what this is. So you definitely want to make sure that you understand these support and resistance lines. And so just remember that head and shoulders is a major reversal pattern. And you definitely want to understand that. So if you, and then you also want to be looking. So when you think about a head and shoulders, just remember that, you know, it's going to pull up, remember the market doesn't just come up and turn around and come back down. Like you see, the market does not come up and just turn around and it's real smooth. Or if I look on a higher time frame, you know, no, exactly, you don't have to guess. So if you're looking at this, so what that means is it can come up, it'll pull down. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna draw it on there. We're running out of time, but I just want to show you really quickly what a head and shoulders is. It's right there. I just messed this up clicking, trying to make some space. So hold on, let me delete it and draw it again, or maybe. So that's pretty much what a head and shoulders will look like. And I didn't put it on there intentionally. So, all right. So, and you'll take it and you'll, you know, put it on there. Right? So, but you'll take that. See your tools that are in here. So you got your tools and everything that are in here. And so you got the head and shoulders pattern, and you can take that and actually apply it and put it over there. And so, of course, you know, as you sit there and you look at it, and just remember as you form that head and shoulders, that the head is always going to be taller. So you form that left shoulder, you form that right shoulder, the head, and then you form that right shoulder. So, you know, you got that movement up, it comes down, and so you kind of see it. So, no, it's not just a 4 hour. I just was clicking and, you know, trying to pull it up. So, but that's what a head and shoulders pattern looks like. And so that you notice that I'm not putting it on the market. It's time for us to transition this call. So you notice that I'm not actually on top of the chart. I just wanted to pull a tool out so you guys can actually see what a head and shoulders pattern look like. And now you can take that and apply it and put it on top of there, because the news is actually telling you we got a massive head and shoulder coming up, right? It's telling you what's happening right here in the tool. And then this is what a head and shoulders pattern looks like. And this is probably, right? That's why I put it right here. That's why I did it like this. So all of this is in this tool. Everything is right here in this tool for you. So hopefully, you know, you got some good information here tonight. Definitely wanted to build and show you how to get deeper and start utilizing your tools and taking it to the next level. So all right, guys. Yes, please go subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's definitely going to help you. It is definitely going to help you. So you guys are so